Make it snappy.
Hey collective, welcome back to Pearle Snapp Tarot. Make it snappy. We got a big download today and decided to make a talking head video. Some of our favorite ones that we've produced for you are just the talking head. So we're gonna be a talking head today. Yada yada yada, blase blase, yada yada yada. Ready? Go! This download was pinged onto me by another reader, and it's the, let's see, what is her channel called? The clairvoyant, the dream clairvoyant, I think her channel's called. And it was a reading about why your life is turned into shite, and it's because there's something you keep leaving undone in every lifetime. And I deliberately stopped the video before I found out what it was that we didn't do. It was a collective read, okay? And so's this, by the way. This is a collective free reading with a download for anyone who's interested. So I turned her video off, and I still haven't watched the rest of it, okay? No offense, Dream Clairvoyant, but I wanted to see if I could figure it out for myself. And sure enough, I got a big download the next day after not listening to the rest of it. What is it you keep leaving undone? Why did your life turn to shite? And also, part of her message was, this keeps happening lifetime after lifetime. And that's what it feels like to this person here, to moi. This crap keeps happening over and over, and even is happening over and over within this lifetime. This same stuff, these same battles with these same people, over and over and over and over and over, you know. So I had to go back and, you know, what I realized is what you didn't do is you didn't finish something. You didn't take it all the way to the finish, okay? You failed to wrap it up. You didn't figure it out and resolve it. And what you didn't figure out and resolve is why it keeps happening. And the reason why is because of these people, your enemies that come against you lifetime after lifetime and over in this lifetime, do not want to face their correctional time. They just don't want to face their spiritual correctional time. There is a place in the multiverse that is like a reform, like it's like an ultimate reform for souls, where they end up having to go eventually, and they have to work these things off. And some of these people have, you know, they have like bad karma from who knows how many thousands maybe of lifetimes that they don't ever want to serve their time for. They never want to have to go there to this place where they have to go. And the Bible called it the lake of fire, but I've heard it described by other prophets as being something about the central sun, or it might be like you get dumped into the sun. It's a portal into this place where you have to do your time, and you have to be reformed. You've got to repay all these karmic debts. You have to. Eventually, you have to. Okay? Now, these people avoid it by forming all these, they've formed all these protocols of how to suppress the people that they're fighting so that they don't have to go to corrections. They figured out all these secret ways and formulas of suppressing the innocent people who they get over on lifetime after a lifetime to avoid this correction. Now, one of the first things I discovered when I first woke up, when I first started waking up from these cycles, was Uncle Fritz's book about undetectable butterfly slaves. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't want to get much more specific than that, but that's one of the protocols they use, and it's ancient. They've been doing it to people since Egypt. This goes way back till then, and that's why there's all this talk about pharaohs, and I have made videos about pharaohs and magic wars and, and stuff like that. And so some of you out there have already been through this correctional process, and it takes thousands of years maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know how long it takes, but I think it does, because I think that's why people don't want to go there so bad, because it's very painful, and you're stuck in there for a long time getting corrected. Okay, so some of us have been through that already, and we're coming out, and I made a video also about you're an angel in training to get your wings. That's who these earth angels are. They're people that have been through the corrections, and now they're going through tests and stuff, and they have to demonstrate that they've learned their lessons, and they have to also do missions to get these bad guys into corrections. So that's who some of you are. Gang to the gang. Some of you are these people who are coming out of there, and you're here because you're a spiritual OG. That's what that means. You a badass, okay? You came back to do your missions. In that one video, I talked about, that famous movie, that famous Frank Capra movie, It's a Wonderful Life, and the character in there, that's the angel, Clarence Oddbody, angel second class, okay? He's working to get his wings. And he comes and he saves the life of someone who's suicidal because this person has been beat down by all these villains around him. He ends up wanting to jump off a bridge, and he does. And that's when Clarence shows up. And Clarence shows him, the main character's name is George. He shows George, who's played by Jimmy Stewart. He shows George what all these people's lives that are in his life that he thought he failed. He shows him what their lives would have been like if he had never been born. Sorry. This is why it's a great movie, because it's so deep. And it's a lighthearted musical, but it ends up getting really deep spiritually. And I highly recommend that movie to everyone. It's not just a Christmas movie to watch every Christmas, it's a movie to watch anytime that contains extremely profound spiritual truths. So go and watch It's a Wonderful Life if you've never seen it. Okay. And especially watch the part where Clarence shows George what these people's lives would have been like if he was never born. That's when it gets deep. So, his wife, for example, would have ended up an old spinster woman, a lonely spinster woman who was a librarian. And someone else in his life would have ended up being a hopeless alcoholic. And just all kinds of stuff. terrible things would have befallen all these people that he loves and love him if he had never been born. So anyway, that's the download. This is what you never wrapped up. You never figured it out, and you never could complete your mission or whatever. You just couldn't get out of this, and then you get recycled again. You get reincarnated, and you get back into this thing of fighting with these people all over again. That's what the so-called never-ending story is. That's what it is. And these so-called secret societies, I just got a song came in. Turn me loose, set me free, somewhere in the middle of Montana. Give me all I got coming to me. Well, you can have your retirement in your so-called secret societies. Oh, big city, turn me loose, set me free. That was a song that used to always be on the radio, and back in good old Boulder, Colorado, on the public radio station on Saturday mornings, they used to have a show called Honky Tonk Heroes that my spiritual friend listened to every Saturday morning. And he was the one that told me that I was going to have to fight someday. And he would tease me, and he told me he was going to get me a little pair of pink camo boxing shorts and some boxing gloves. Because I was going to have to fight someday. And now's the time, because there's all these fashions out there that are camo fashions, and a lot of them are pink. And I own a few pink camo things now. So that's how I remembered all that, and I realized you're in the timeline now when you're in the soup. You're in the soup now, but let me tell you something. When pigs fly, baby! When pigs fly! This is that time. Nobody ever thought you could do it. I'm sitting here shuffling this oracle deck. What is this one called? The Sacred Symbols Oracle. We're gonna throw down a couple of these right now. Let's see what we get on this download. Somewhere in the middle of Montana. Okay. That was my Shorty. All right. We've got Magic is out. All right. Magic's out. Well, that has a lot to do with this download, because the download was all about how these fake magicians, okay, they're sorcerers. They're not really magical people. Okay. It's you monarchs that are the magic ones. You have the real magic. But they had all these protocols to suppress it. They don't tell you that you are. You don't know who you are. Then they get into you with all this weird mind control shit and bend your mind around so you don't know what you can do or who you are or anything. Then they take a ride using your magic. They take a ride on you. And in effect, they reverse your talent, your innate God-given gifts, and use them against you and get up over on you. Okay, what else we got here? Home. 10. That's a completion. All right. See how that thing, it looks like if you took a box and you unfolded it, it would look like that. So you're not boxed in anymore. This shit is over with, and you're going home. We're going home, people. Somewhere in the middle of Montana. And my Shorty was from Hungry Horse, Montana. Anchor, grounded, number 22. That's a master number. See, you've been through, you're grounded now. You've been through the corrections. You're out here on a mission. Those people underestimated you. This is the one where you're going to wrap it up. You're going to complete this time. This is what you didn't complete. You're going to do it this time. Trust. 16. Trust me, okay? You can trust this message. This is for real. This is for real. Water, number 18, okay. Yeah, you saw me cry and get emotional a minute ago. That's how you can trust that something is authentic. It comes with real feelings. Now these magicians, these sorcerers, those are the F your feelings people. They don't have any. They can't afford to because what they do is so ruthless and so brutal. They have to put you down at win at any cost. These are the win at all costs people. Win at any cost because they don't want to get that correction. What's on the bottom? Divine masculine. Okay, so a lot of these people are finally waking up and realizing, they get used against us divine feminines. They get brainwashed too. And they get sidetracked, and they get tricked, and they get punked, and they get fooled into thinking we're the enemy, but we're really not. What's this? Stormy, 21, stormy. Yeah, that's the voyage. This is the dark night of the soul that people have to go through in the process of waking up. And it involves being picked on by karmics a lot. And then having your life go to shite and wondering how the hell this happened. How did this happen? Why did my life end up like this? I shouldn't have been like this. Okay. So if you're there, yeah, you're there. Okay, so now I'm going to pick out, okay, here's the first card out of the box. I like these picture cards. This looks a little bit like somebody magical. This is a magical frog, but look, he's holding up a dragonfly, which is a magical being balancing little sunflowers in his little froggy arms. Wow, what can we get from this? Just magic. This is the magic collective. You're the magic one, not them. You are. You are, not them. Oops. They do this by fragmenting your soul. And this picture behind me, I acquired this piece of artwork because it shows a headless feminine, okay? Feminine that's fragmented. She's fragmented on the inside. See all those different pieces they cut you up into? You don't know what's what. It's part of this protocol of creating an undetectable monarch slave. They get you all cut up and torn up on the inside. You don't know who you are. So you have to make your way out. Oh, look at the next card. You got to make your way out. As I was saying, I was about to say, as you make your way out, look, it's a gateway. You have to make your way out of this maze, this confusing reality they construct all around you and inside you. You have to overcome the programming and fight your way out of the box. I showed you the box, but it's open. Remember, the box is open. And it's a 10. You're going home. You're going through that portal. Look at that. It's a beautiful garden. I just heard Secret Garden. That's another book that's kind of like about this topic I'm talking about, The Secret Garden. Maybe that's another movie Collective should watch, The Secret Garden. It's a famous children's book, okay, but it's been made into movies a lot. There's a modern version, and there's a modern version that's really good. I can try to put a link to it in the description box or something, to some of these movies and songs. Yeah, it's about finding your special place that can transform you. It's an allegory, you know, it's in the book, in the movie, it's a garden. It's a walled garden, but inside there it's magical. And it's about how a sick little boy who's kind of like the product of a Munchausen syndrome karmic parent gets well by visiting the secret garden. It's a great story. It's a wonderful story. It's a wonderful life. Okay, so we're going to go into the Egyptian tarot because these fights have been going on since then, and a lot of people came into this timeline who had past lives in Egypt, and I'm pretty sure I did. I have a long background as a graphic designer, and I eventually figured out I have past lives as a medieval illuminated manuscript illustrator and a calligrapher, and then going way back to Egypt as a court, you know, a scribe in the royal court. I really believe these things. We were writing hieroglyphics on papyrus scrolls and stuff. And when you were in that part of the court, you weren't in the inner circle, but you were part of the court because your job was to express the philosophies and the laws and stuff of that civilization, which was a magical civilization. Okay, I'm sitting here shuffling my Egyptian deck. All right. We've got Judgment out. So this is all about, you know, the final judgment, people going to corrections. You've been fighting with these people ever since then. And you're finally going to help bring judgment this lifetime, okay, this timeline. This is why so many, you hear this on these YouTube videos that are all wooey a lot about how a lot of people came to this timeline now on Earth because this is finally going to get resolved. Okay. All right, what else we got here from the Egyptian deck, please? Okay, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of work on this. You've been doing a lot of work. Look, there's that boat. You see that barge? And the water? Okay, the water is not smooth there, okay? Remember we had the stormy card out here? You've been doing the work, okay? Collective has been doing the work, and that's what it takes to get up on top of these, you know, sorcerers. And part of why it's happening in this timeline is because we got the tech back online, okay? We're living in a time of very high tech computers and AI, right? AI figures in this story too, because in the background, AI is looking at everything and everybody now. It's making all kinds of connections that couldn't have been made without it, right? And for people who are panicking about this FISA law reform, oh, see, I told you I was a scribe in the Egyptian royal court. And I'm a water sign. This is a Page of Cups. I came out in the reading. I popped out. Oh, I lost my train of thought. My train of thought derailed. There were no survivors. What else? What was I saying? I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The FISA law getting recycled. If you're worried about that, my thought was trust the plan. It might not be what we think. You know, maybe there's a good AI in the background making connections and figuring out who all these players are, and maybe that's part of this big correction, making the connections for the corrections. You know, we don't really know who's behind some of this stuff. You know, I don't know if there's any good guys in the State Department or not. Maybe there are. Maybe they're pretending to be bad guys. I don't know. There's all kinds of convoluted, weird stuff going on, but don't necessarily label that. I mean, don't worry about that, because don't worry about it. It might be helping us. I don't know. I'm not part of that crowd, but I can tell you I worked for somebody who is, and that's probably why I'm in this soup. Okay. Continuez, s'il vous plaît. Senior moments. Two of Wands. So, yeah, you have been able to acquire, see that eye in the middle? You've been able to acquire some inner vision, enough so to, in the Rider-Waite, the Two of Wands, it looks a little bit like a gateway. And it has a guy looking out from between the wands, holding like a globe or something in his hands. And so that might be what this is. You got your eye on the prize, which is ending these cycles, right? And going home. All right, we're up to 26 minutes here. I don't want to make this too long, because I think I lose people when I go la, 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 yada, yada, yada for too long. So hopefully that's almost enough for you to get the picture here of what's actually going on. Let's do a couple angel numbers to wrap this up. Okay, I spent a lot of time making a whole bunch more angel number cards. Look how many I have now. I couldn't do all 1,000 and however many there are in this book, but there's a good amount in here right now, all right? So it took me a while. But it was good. It satisfied my OCD cravings. It was very satisfying, because I have OCD tendencies. So cutting up all these little pieces of cardboard and writing numbers on it. Okay, 234. 234, that is a progression number, 234. So you're getting things in order. You're taking things in the right order. You might have even asked God to order your steps to help you complete this mission. 234, let's see, what does it say? 234. 234, you are moving upward. The universe is proud of your commitment to growth. 234. Dang, that's great. What I just say, okay? What I just say. All right, let's get one more, and then one or two more here. Okay, what do we got here? We got, 223. Well, look, that's kind of a progression, 22 and 23 and 223, and it does contain the master number 22, which came out over here. Which card was it that was 22? Number 22 came out here. What was that? That was grounded. Okay, so you're pretty grounded. You got 22, 223. 223. 2, 2, 3. Ascended masters and your guides and angels are all encouraging you to be honest with yourself before proceeding further. 2, 2, 3. Okay, so you're being very circumspect. You're ordering your steps, 2, 3, 4, ordering your steps, thinking about each step before you take it, trying to do it in a way that makes sense. You come up out of this confusion of soul-shattering confusion, right? All right, okay, my eyes touched it, as Alicia says. So I got to pull it out of there. 87. 87. You are a teacher, and you can share the knowledge you have gained from your experiences. 87. Well, that's great. We're at 29 minutes. That's just long enough. We're at a half hour here. Let's end it right there. Thank you so much for tuning in to this reading today, and I hope you'll please hit the like button for me. My channel still appears to be shadow banned, so I need to move forward with that. So please hit the like button and subscribe, share it, okay? And if you would like to donate, it's not required, but the link is in the description box. Adios, amigos, until we meet again.